Hello, my name is Lavisha Thomas, and today I wanted to talk about the things that I've learned over these 2 weeks of being in this course. I found a lot of things interesting, a lot of things that I didn't know. So, the first thing that I wanted to cover was the five freedoms in our First Amendment, which was freedom of speech, freedom of religion, assembly, press, and petition. I wanted to give one example of a court case that happened a couple years back in 1989. It was a court case called Texas versus Johnson that a man by Gregory Lee Johnson actually burned a flag outside of a Texas convention center, and he argued that he was protected by his First Amendment rights because he was practicing his symbolic speech, which he had every right to do that because, yet again, those are your rights. But they convicted and they tried Mr. Johnson for this act. The second thing I wanted to talk about was Freedom of Information Act. Pretty much this is any person who has the right to request access to federal agency records or information. So I wanted to give an example. I actually looked up a article in the Huffington Post, and it pretty much told us that our governor, Pat McCrory, signed a bill into the law that makes police dashboard cameras and body camera footage exempt to the public record. And he has every right to do that because in the House Bill 972, it says that the video is accessible to people who can be seen or heard in it, along with their personal representative, but they must file a request to obtain the footage. So he has every right to do it because of the Freedom of Information Act. Okay, so the third thing that I wanted to talk about is the Falwell versus Hustler magazine. Pretty much just the legal case that was in the Supreme Court. It says that the court was held with the First and the 14th Amendment. It pretty much prohibit public figures from recovering damages for the IED. Pretty much it came down to it that pretty much Hustler Magazine won that case between Jerry Falwell. So, yeah. The second legal case that I wanted to talk about is the Campbell versus the Cuff Music. This happened in 1994, and this also was a Supreme Court case. It was a U.S. Supreme Court case, copyright law case, that established that the commercial priority can qualify as a fair use. And this was between the Two Live Crew, which is a music group back in those times. Well, they're still a music group, but they're not as popular as they used to be. Versus Roy Orbison, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. So yeah. So I pretty much think that learning the stuff in course was very helpful because I didn't know most of the stuff. I think it's very important that we do go over these things, and I'm really interested in learning on what we're going to learn in the future. So yeah, thank you for listening.